20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Hey guys, it's Stacey O'Neill. Happy Hump Day! I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Today I'm really excited and really sad all at the same time. I'm really excited because this week is all about book recommendations for fall releases, and I love to give book recommendations. So I'm super excited to talk about that. And then I'm also really sad because this is my last week with the YA Rebels. I'm so sad, guys. I knew it was a 4-week gig and it just went by way too fast, and I've had so much fun and such a good time talking to everybody on Twitter and through comments and YouTube, and it's just been so much fun. So I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss talking to you guys. But let's get to the good stuff already. Book recommendations, fall book recommendations. I had such a hard time actually coming up with a list because I love to read. I can read a couple books a week, and there's so many books coming out that I just want to, I could go on, this could be a 20-minute video about all the books that I recommend. So what I tried to do is I tried to recommend one from every subgenre of fantasy, sci-fi. Hopefully I've covered everything, and hopefully I'll come up with something that you're interested in. So, okay. First of all, there's a bunch of books coming out by YA Rebels. So I haven't read all of them, but I would recommend you reading all of them because everybody on YA Rebels is awesome, and I would love to promote everybody, but I'm just going to talk about the books that I actually have read. I have read 10 by Gretchen McNeil, and I actually have that here that I can show you. This is the arc for 10, and it's actually a retelling of an Agatha Christie story that I've never read, so I really can't compare it. All I can tell you is that this is a YA thriller, YA horror, that scared the bejesus out of me. And I'm not really a big fan of horror, so when I tell you that I loved it, you should really take that as a really huge compliment, because normally I'm like, I'm afraid, I don't want to read that stuff. But because it's Gretchen and I loved her book Possess, I'm like, alright, fine, so whatever, I'll read it. And I loved it. So go get that book, it's so good. The other book I love is by Daniel Marx, who is our Sunday, and his book is called Velveteen, which is a paranormal thriller / horror, super scary. The first 5 pages of this book, you're just like, ee! You don't even know, you think you know what's gonna happen and who the character is, and then it's no, and then you find out and you're like, woo! So, yeah, that's a good book. Definitely recommend that one. Now, I was able to go to BEA this year, and I picked up some fantastic arcs. So I'm going to talk about only the ones that I've read, well, with the exception of one. The one arc that I haven't read, and the only reason I haven't read it is because I'm going on vacation soon, and I'm actually saving this book because it is by my favorite YA fantasy writer, and that is Melissa Marr. I am obsessed with Melissa Marr. She's such a good writer. If you've never read any of her books, I feel sorry for you, because I'm telling you, I just love her. I've read every book, every short story that she's ever written. I just, for me it started with Wicked Lovely, and it just never stopped. I cannot stop gushing about her. This whole video could be about Melissa Marr. But this particular book I'm talking about is Carnival of Souls. Carnival of Souls, guys. The name alone. Look at this cover. Look at this cover. Seriously, you want to read it, right? I'm saving this book. I'm treasuring it because I cannot wait to read it when I go on vacation, because I know it's going to be so good. So, definitely check out that book. The other book I'm excited about, but unfortunately I have it in my Kindle, so I can't show it to you, is Onyx, which is the sequel to Obsidian. This is Obsidian by Jennifer Armentrout. It's so good. I read Obsidian in one day because it's just so hot, and just Jennifer is so good with like keeping your heart rate pulsating rapidly as you just can't wait to see what's going to happen, and oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So Jennifer's series is called the Lux series. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Jennifer's also a really awesome person, so totally worth reading. Yeah. So next on my list is Fathomless by Jackson Pierce. This is actually a retelling of Little Mermaid. Jackson Pierce is pretty much my go-to girl when it comes to retellings. She's just awesome, and this book is awesome. If you love retellings and you haven't read Jackson Pierce, what is wrong with you? Okay. Next book on my list is called Throne of Glass by Sarah Maas. A lot of people are saying that it's Game of Thrones for YA. I'm going to throw you out something different. I'm going to say, if you're a fan of Graceling by Kristen Cashore, you need to read this book, because this heroine is just kick butt, in your face, take no prisoners, awesome chick that just happens to also be really girly and really relatable. She's like a badass assassin. Oh my god. This book blew my mind. I could not put it down. I'm not a huge fan of high fantasy. I devoured this book. It was just a breath of fresh air for me. I cannot tell you enough about this book, and I could give you 10,000 reasons to read it. All I'm going to tell you is it was the talk of BEA, and it is totally worth the hype that it was getting. The other book that got a lot of hype at BEA was a book called Skylark by Megan Spooner. Again, totally worth the hype. This is a dystopian, and I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, Hunger Games, I've read like 100 dystopians this year. No, erase that from your mind. Seriously, go out and get this book when it comes out. It actually comes out in August, so I'm cheating by throwing it in with the fall releases, but whatever. It's so good. I'm telling you, I'm sitting there reading this book, and it gets to this one part that I don't want to tell you about, that she goes into this room and she figures out like why she's really there and what the real story is, and you are just like, oh my god. That's all I'm going to say. You have got to read this book. It's adventures, it plays out like a movie. It's just so freaking good. Okay, so yeah. All those books are phenomenal. You should get every single one of them. And that's the end of my tape. So, this is the end, guys. This is it. I'm saying goodbye. I'm just so sad. But not really. Because here's the thing. I got such positive feedback from my vlogs that I've decided to continue the vlogs on my own. So I'm actually going to do it through my website, Fantasy Book Addict, and there's a link on my website that you can click, a YouTube link that you can link directly to my show. I'm going to do it once a week. It's going to be about book recommendations. It's going to be about upcoming books that are coming out. It's going to be anything that's adult or YA fantasy or sci-fi related, and to kind of like seduce you into coming and watching my show, I'm actually going to do a giveaway every single week. What? Yes! Every single week I'm going to do a giveaway. It's going to be a gift card, or it's going to be a book or signed swag or something, but it's going to be every single week. And so you have to tune in to get access to the new contest and to talk to me. And that's it, guys. So I'm going to put some links on the bottom of the screen, and hopefully you'll subscribe, and we'll have lots of fun conversations about books and all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, so thanks, guys. Thanks for inviting me to the YA Rebels. I had just so much fun. I love you guys. I love all the authors involved, and it's been a blast. So see you all. Bye.